Hello brothers and sisters of the hook. Salty Kayak here. We are out at a distant natural reef about 15 miles out that I know very few people know about. And there's a shelf out here that holds a lot of fish, and you'll see a whole bunch of triggerfish and red snapper and some other fish coming to say hello. Here comes some triggers. I'm not real sure, since we didn't catch any, I'm not real sure what size these triggers are. There's a bunch of red snapper. Those triggers are probably all 13 3/4 inches, and there's a shark at the bottom right there. And blue runners. There's a couple of blue runners. Pretty sure those are blue runners. Let me know if they're not. Lots of grunts making their appearance. Everybody heading over from their little hidey holes. There's vermilion snapper, red snapper, and there's lots of vermilions out here. You'll see them. Coming up here in just a second. Got to keep your eye on it. But here comes a porgy, and I'm going to put a little red circle around it, but keep your eye on it. It's a nice, good-sized porgy. See it there? And just keep your eye on it, and you'll see it move across. I think that's one of those scup porgies, like the ones up north. Nice big guy. Kind of wish we'd have caught him too, but we didn't. Vermilion snapper up above. Nice and quiet down there, isn't it? Kind of wonder what they hear. I mean, they hear everything. Sounds silent to us. More vermilion snappers. There's two of them right there. I know at least one looking right at me. I'm sure that's a keeper size one. And there's another keeper size one right there. I only caught one this day when we were out there because it got rough pretty quick. So we had to head into a closer end reef, play around there. And you'll see where I dropped the cams down then. And it's a little murkier, but it's more interesting. This is kind of bland and boring here. But there's lots of fish down there. And also, this part of the video is at half speed. I slowed it down to 50% and tried to clean it up as much as possible. Contrast is at maximum. Alright, now I've just switched over to the other cam. I've got 3 cams down on this drop down. And Tessa, be quiet. I'm trying to talk on the microphone here, Tess. Anyway, I've got 3 cams down, and there's 3 porgies, 3 of them, 1, 2, 3, and a couple blue runners. There's a trigger. Those porgies just stopped. I think I saw a total of 4 on this side of the cameras. Went in the other direction. And that, my friends, right there is a lane snapper, a nice size one. There goes those porgies. I think they've turned around. We didn't catch a lane either. Not a single lane this trip. We saw a bunch of them when I got home and downloaded all these clips and viewed them on my computer. And just for reference, coming up right here, and I've done some stop action and circled a couple of vermilions. They're also known as beeliners, so that point of reference, you know what they look like. That's what they look like right there. Got kind of a shiny eye when I up the contrast a lot. And there were plenty of them out there. Lots of them. They like to hang out normally a little bit higher in the column off the bottom. There's a nice vermilion. Than the ruby lips, the grunts, so that you can usually fish maybe 15 feet off the bottom and attract the vermilion up, and they will come up. And the grunts will have a tendency to stay down lower, but a lot of times the grunts will come up too. Getting eyeballed by that red snapper right there. Nice vermilion snapper right there. And another one. I can promise you at least half of those are keeper size. Don't know what that was swimming in the background that just disappeared off the edge of the screen. All right, coming up here is the third cam that I dropped down. This time it started to work. A lot of times it just shuts off and doesn't work. This time it worked, so I had 3 cams pointing in 3 different directions. Some of these fish will be the same fish that you see. There's a lane snapper right there. The same fish that you see in the other cams, but there's a shark. There's a nice big red snapper. Big boy. But you'll see some new fish here too. Sometimes they'll just swim straight up and then straight back. Trigger, hello Mr. Trigger. Fixing to come up on the middle left side of the screen right now is that big old porgy that we saw in the other cam. So he swims off into the distance away from our bait. And like I said, this is at 50% speed. At the end of this video, I speed it up to just normal speed. Lots of action, fast action. Down below there near the bottom, I think I saw a small lane snapper. There's a vermilion. Another vermilion. 2 vermilions in the background. Oh, there he is. There's that lane snapper. Yeah, thought I saw one. Here he goes. He's heading away from our bait too. We're fixing to head back into a shallower reef because it just got too rough out there. As you can see, it's a little bit rough even in here. We are about 12 miles out now, and I'm dropping the cams down. They have just hit the bottom here. And here comes the crowd to greet us. Triggerfish. Oh, and these are, you're going to see some strange looking fish. They are unicorn fish, and there are a bunch of them. You see that mob of fish in the background there? That's where we are dropping our bait down, and they are attacking it like crazy. At the very end of the video, I purposefully left a hookup down because it was close to the cams and I knew it, and you will actually see a red snapper get hooked up. Unicorn, unicorn. Weird looking fish, hard to catch. Look at that little teeny mouth. But they are some kind of curious fish, that's for sure. You'll see in a little bit what I'm talking about. Oh man, lots of red snapper. No shortage at all. No need to rebuild the stock. We need to thin the stock. There's too many. All right, this is full speed. 1-to-1 speed. You can see it's a little bit murkier. There's more snow in the water than there was out deeper. Lots of grunts. Hello, Mr. Grunt. There's a vermilion. Not a big one, just a little one, but he was in there to the shallow reefs. And I've cut these clips to, get rid of the dead spots when there's hardly any fish in them. Trying to make it a little more interesting by showing you where the fish are instead of showing you where the fish aren't. That's a red snapper, even though he's got a spot on him there. Just a juvenile red snapper. Unicorn fish, and you'll see why they're called unicorn fish here in just a little bit, because they even get curious, more curious than these guys. Look at that little tiny mouth. I bet you they are good to eat. I just bet it. If I can catch one, I mean, you got to use like a 1/0 hook, probably a little bitty teeny piece of shrimp. If you can get it past all the grunts, and you might catch one. Got no clue what they eat. If anybody knows what they taste like, let us know. That clicking sound that you hear, I've tried to muffle it out as much as possible. That is that little metal clip that I have attached to my fishing line, which is attached to the top of the cam setup. And most of those in the background there that you see are red snapper. A lot of the little ones, of course, just about all of the little ones are grunts. They're attacking our bait in the background there. Triggerfish, so he wants to get in on the action. You see our bait? See that bait there? I actually saw the bait on the hook. Look at all those fish attacking it. They are hungry, folks. They are hungry out there. Here we go. Here comes the crowd. It's like a unicorn convention. Boo, 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 boo. I bet you there's as much meat on those as there are on flounder. Those are some good sized fish, folks. Boom. This is another cam, another angle, and there's some sheep's head in the background there. I did not adjust quite as much for the lighting. There's 3 sheep's head. What's that? There's 4 sheep's head. As you can tell, we are near some structure. That's just one little broken culvert that's been scattered over the bottom. And way in the background, I can just make it out because I know what's there, is another culvert, but that's way over there, probably 20, 25 feet at least. Now this is full action 1-to-1. Red snapper, grunts. You can tell the wave action is pulling the line up and down. So no porgies in this section at all, none. Hey, Mr. Lane Snapper. And that yellow one there, yellow, black, and white one, that's a porkfish. Lane Snapper in the background. And there are so many red snapper here, it's just unbelievable. You'll see them. Have patience. Trust me. Mr. Curious. How about that? They can go backwards. Isn't that neat? That's a little one. Everybody heading over when we threw our bait in. I guess they can hear it. Not sure if that was a lane or not. Yeah, it was a lane. That's a big lane. That's a big lane snapper right there. Big as a red snapper. And getting ready to come into the picture now is a whole bunch of red snapper. Get ready. Honestly, there's a bunch of them getting ready to come in the picture. Come on, red snapper. There's one, there's two, there's three, there's four, there's five, there's six, there's seven, there's 8, 9. There's a bunch of them. All right, stop. This is what I think is a mangrove snapper, and he leaves the side of the picture here and comes right back in. You see him swim off into the background there. Not a big guy, but it's a mangrove. Pretty sure. Look at them all. Oh my. Look at all the red snapper. Okay. All right, male in the background, female in the front. You know how I can tell? Look at that female. She got too much lipstick on and way too much eye makeup. All right, coming up here in just a second is another unicorn fish that I don't think he likes me in his territory. He's about to flip me the bird. Watch him, watch him. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that weird? Hey, buddy. See you later. Now remember, all the time this is going on, we are also fishing all this time. Cams are on the bottom, recording, and so it's just out of sight. Look at that guy with a black belly. Isn't that weird? Just out of sight is our bait, and in the next clip, I believe it's the next clip, you will see, I believe it's my line, my sinker, and a red snapper has grabbed the bait. Come on, let me see it. Be patient, it's coming up here, I'm pretty sure. Well, I'd love to catch one of these guys. Just get him up to the boat and take his picture. Have to snag him, I guess. Look at that guy, he's all colorful. Like tiger stripes. Oh, listen to that music. That must mean we're getting closer to the end. And I know that red snapper hookup is coming up soon. Lane snapper in the background. Is that him? Is that the one I got hooked up? No. Little black sea bass, see him there? Just one little black sea bass. That's not the red snapper I got hooked up, but that's a big boy. Everybody's heading over to where our bait is, so it's coming up soon. Is that the one? There's the one right there. He's got my line in his mouth. See the sinker up above? Keep your eye on him. You'll see where he's trying to head. Right over to that rock to break me off. Keep an eye. You'll see him. He goes over there. He's over there now. over by that rock trying to break me off. And I get him to the surface and release him. Okay, that's about it. Bye. God bless y'all.